But fortunately, because you hail from another community, not the Kalenjin nation, you are not mentioned. And the person who was mentioned by the Honorable Gachagua was the Honorable Nelson Koech, purposely and deliberately, to do what he has now perfected in ethnic profiling of the people from the Kalenjin nation. It is the same attempt you saw yesterday, Honorable Speaker, when he tried to profile ethnically officers commanding police stations in Nairobi. And I'm happy because the chair is tabling that report or that list that is indicating that out of 65 officers serving police stations in Nairobi County, only 16 hail from the Kalenjin sub-tribes, and 17 hail from the Mount Kenya communities, Kikuyus, Merus, Embus. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, you can see what this person is attempting to do with the social fabric of our nation. To poison the people on ethnic basis, Honorable Speaker, and I think the people of Kenya now know him better. And I am glad last night I saw the Honorable Munya vindicate this assembly for having impeached the former deputy president. And Munya actually indicated that he is indeed a bully. He is now bullying them in the opposition.
Member Fondia, what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, I have had my leader, majority leader, mention Honorable Gachagua, and I'm seated here with Honorable Gachagua, and he's complaining that he has nothing to do with such utterances. Please clarify.
I think Honorable GK, the member you're seated next to would have protested. He knows it is not him. But
Honorable Speaker, it is good to note that that name now should not be used in this parliament as Honorable Gachagua. He is regarding not Gachagua, Honorable Gachagua. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
My apologies, Honorable Speaker. I in no way wanted to refer to the member for Daragwa, the good Honorable Gachagua, Gachagua the good one. I meant the former deputy president, the quarter-term deputy president, and one-term member of parliament for Madeira, Mr. Rigathi. And I was saying, Honorable Speaker, Mr. Rigathi purported that members of this House under Honorable Nelson Koech were demanding 3 billion shillings from the government of the UK to ratify this agreement. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, in a very profound manner, to thank our former Speaker, the immediate former Speaker, the Honorable J.B. Muturi. Because the Honorable J.B. Muturi, despite him being in the opposition, stood for the truth. And he stood out to set the record straight. And he spoke for the people of Mount Kenya and the people of Laikipia. And averred, just as the committee has illustrated today, that the committee and this House declined to approve the DCA as it were, without reservations, for very good reasons. And I would want Rigathi to tell the people of Laikipia whom he purports to speak for, as much as he speaks for nobody. How right is it that the family of the late Agnes Wanjiru continues to suffer and seek for justice, and they cannot find it, Honorable Speaker, because the UK government has refused to ratify the reservations that this House, under the able leadership of members of the Committee of Defense and Foreign Relations, put. And those reservations, Honorable Speaker, you know, because you're a member of that committee, together with our Deputy Minority Whip, you know they are well-deserved reservations. Murder was excluded. The committee brought in the offense of murder. Honorable Speaker, when this report, when the DCA came in 2021, September of 2021, Rigathi was serving his first term as Member of Parliament for Madeira. He was seated in this House. And he spoke in this House, Honorable Speaker, in one of the rare occasions he spoke. He said that the House must protect local communities. That is what the House did. We sought to protect local communities. Those members who come from Laikipia will tell you there are people who have been maimed by landmines left in the ground by these forces as they train in the jungles. And pastoralists, as they graze the animals, either the animals or individuals are blown away by landmines. Those are some of the issues that were raised. Honorable Speaker, I have had not, since I became leader of majority, I have had at least 2 engagements with the High Commissioner of the UK in my office here. And in no uncertain terms, I have told the High Commissioner the reservations that were raised by the House must be addressed by the UK government. And they must be addressed without exception. Agnes Wanjiru must get her right posthumously. The committee sought that if there are violations of human rights, the people must be compensated. The Kenya Human Rights Commission submitted before the committee that there are indeed grave human rights violations against the people of Laikipia and neighboring counties by the British forces. And they must be held to account. What problem does Rigathi have with the people of Mount Kenya being protected from our former colonial masters? We are no longer a slave of the UK kingdom. We are not. Kenya is not a colony. And the people of Laikipia, the people of Samburu, must not continue to live as if Kenya or the area they come from is part of the British protectorate, the former British protectorate. We are a sovereign nation, and we are elected by members of the public to speak and represent them. And that is what the Committee of Defense and Foreign Relations has sought to do, and by extension, this House, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, fast forward, last week, as the chair has averred in his statement, the National Police Service has given us an update of the grave violations that have been committed against the people in Laikipia by these forces. And indeed, they are talking about a case now that they are now currently investigating, one case of defilement. I want Rigathi Gachagua to again look at the people of Laikipia and tell them that it is okay for our young children to be defiled by foreign soldiers. I want Rigathi Gachagua to tell those 20 people whose cases of rape are being investigated that it is okay for the women in Laikipia to be raped. That 37 cases of gang rape, grievous criminal acts. Rigathi should tell the people of Laikipia that it is okay for women in Laikipia and young girls to be gang raped, and this House should just approve and rubber stamp that DCA. I want to reinstate, Honorable Speaker, what we have told the UK government, that we shall never in the National Assembly of Kenya ratify anything that will violate the rights of Kenyans. We are here to represent people, not animals. Honorable Speaker, what Rigathi said deserves to be dismissed with the contempt it deserves. But if we remain quiet, Honorable Speaker, his perpetual lies tends to look like the truth. And that is why I must thank the chair of this committee for setting the record straight, and that is why even yesterday, when he sought to perpetuate other untruths, I requested the chair of the National Security Committee to also table a list, and I'm sure he's going to table it. He had shown me that list, to show that we have a dangerous person in this country who wants to destroy the social fabric of our nation, who wants to see bloodshed in our country, and who will say anything and everything that will destroy our nation. We have a duty, despite our various political opinions, to protect life as leaders. And indeed, I want to take this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to plead with all of us. In the run-up to the elections, whatever we say, let us say what unites, not what will pit one community against the other. I know Rigathi because I worked with him. And I have kept saying I have absolutely no regret to have voted to impeach Rigathi Gachagua because he remains an existential threat to this country, its unity, and the peace of our peace-loving citizens. Honorable Speaker, as leaders, let us be cautious of what we say. I was asking Honorable Speaker what the member for Mukurweini said in Kenyan the other day. Just extrapolate that and move Honorable Kagushia from what he said and assume that had been said by Oscar Sudi in Kapsaret. What would we be saying today? We must be cautious of what we say as leaders. Because you tell people to go for others under their beds, and they will literally do it. Because they think what you are telling them is the right thing. And we must continue to condemn these utterances, even when they come from our colleagues. And I will say, even if a member of UDA or ODM in the broad-based government says what is unpalatable and what is bound to lead to bloodshed, I will condemn it. I will condemn it. I hear the member for Embakasi West asking me Duale. And I was away out of the country, Honorable Speaker, when Duale used what he described as figurative language. And we are very quick to condemn what has been said. And the following day, Rigathi Gachagua stands in public and says, kill nyoka na mayai yake. And it is okay when he says, I was only using figurative language. If figurative language is right for Rigathi, it must be right for Duale. If figurative language is wrong for Duale, it must be wrong for Kagushia, it must be wrong for Rigathi Gachagua, it must be wrong for Kimani Ichungwa. If we are using figurative language, let us not use figurative language that can be misinterpreted. That when you say nyoka na mayai yake, you are saying people to be killed. Honorable Speaker, let me end it there, but thank the Defense and Foreign Relations for being true patriots and members of this House, for being true patriots, staying true to our calling to represent the people and defend them in line with our Constitution. And I thank the chair of this committee and the Foreign Relations Committee because they have said they shall not approve the ratification of a treaty or part of its provisions that are contrary to our Constitution, nor shall the House approve a reservation to a treaty or part of it if that reservation negates any provision of the Constitution, even if the preservation is permitted under the relevant treaty. Therefore, what the reservations that were sought to be included, to include crimes that were not covered, that it is not okay for a British soldier to rape, to kill, and get away with it because they'll be protected under the treaty. You did the right thing, and do not be intimidated by those ethnic bigots who want to intimidate you, Honorable Koech. Don't allow them to profile you on the basis of your ethnicity, because he was very deliberate to target Honorable Nelson Koech because of where he comes from. Honorable Speaker, I beg to support.
Honorable members, there cannot be a point of order at this point. Honorable members, I know this is an emotive issue. I have given Majority Leader quite some time, but honorable members note that we are still on statements at 4 p.m., so we will limit our time as we move ahead. And I say that because I've been a part of this process with the chairperson and the Defense Intelligence Committee. The report that we submitted is public, it is in this House. So is this statement that has very well enumerated the issues that were in that report and given the background of how far and why we took the decision that we took, and it is for a good cause. Honorable members, before I give the next speaker, allow me to recognize in the speakers gallery learners and teachers from Bambino Academy, Kilifi South, Kilifi County. They are seated up there. Then in the public gallery, we have ACK Emmanuel School from Bere North, Embu County. They are welcome to observe the proceedings of the House. I will now give the member for Laikipia, Honorable Jane Kagiri, because I know the committee visited that area. The leaders came out and gave their views. The public came. Human rights, we have spoken to almost every stakeholder. So I will give you as a local leader to give your input.
Contribute to this discussion. Honorable Speaker, I'll start by thanking the Defense and Foreign Relations Committee for a job that was well done. Honorable Speaker, I've always heard that this house is a house of records, but I want to appreciate that when you came to Laikipia County, you listened